Greetings from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Welcome back to the Crow's Nest. Monte Cristo Classic. Churchill tonight. This one is less than mediocre. As you can see, it really cracked, and I don't know why, because the cigars I pulled out of the humidor this morning and smoked this morning, I had no issues at all with it, so I have no idea. But anyway, it is what it is. So tonight I want to share a little story about my Little League softball career. Started to play when I was pretty young, and one of the first years I played, we had a catcher who accidentally sprung up to catch a pitch, and the batter swung, and he took the bat across the back of his fingers. And he broke 3 of his fingers, so needless to say, he was done for the year. Because as everybody knows, Little League Baseball season isn't really that long. So I think we played like 10 or 12 games, and you play, I think, 2 a week or something. So it's not very long. But so they needed another catcher, and I was a little feller at the time. So what they did was the coach made me put on the catcher's stuff, which took a while because I was 3 times smaller than our normal catcher. So they had to pull all the straps almost as tight as they would go and everything else. And the mitt was too daggone big and all that. And so I caught. And I ended up really, really enjoying it. And I asked if I could catch all year, and the coach says, yeah, absolutely, because nobody wanted to be in that hot gear in the summertime. So I took the position on and watched, some stuff on it. When I would watch baseball games, I would always focus on the catcher, and I was able to really be able to watch some stuff. And whenever I went to other Little League games or whatever, I would watch the catcher and see what he's doing. And I would sit in different spots. I would sit in the first base line. I would sit way down on the third base line so I could see in and stuff. And because that's what my coach told me to do. Not that I did it on my own at 7, 8 years old. But I really enjoyed it. And I remember I got to be about, I'd say maybe 10. And we had a coach. His last name was Lewis. And he was tough. He was not the coach I was used to when I was a little one. And he told us, rule number 1 is no one walks out to their position. You all run on the field and you run off the field. The only one who was allowed to walk was me, because I was the catcher. So I, of course, very much appreciated that. Not that my run was very far, but And he taught me a lot on how to keep my head in the ball game. He would yell at me where the guy hit the ball the last time, so I would be able to focus that side of the defense on that. And he really taught me how to take command of the defense, and that was really different for me. So it was very, very different for me. He expected a lot out of us ball players. And I remember our first practice, he told us, we win as a team, we lose as a team. You don't go blaming somebody for making too many errors, or you don't blame somebody for not hitting the ball and getting any runs in, or anything like that. Because we all could have done better earlier, which wouldn't have put us in that position. And he was right. So, we do everything as a team. So, he told us, he says, you will take your blessings as a team, which means when I say something, when I compliment Yins, I will compliment all you guys, along with individually, of course, sometimes. And he says, you'll take an ass chewing by yourself, as a team. And he wasn't kidding. So we did everything as a team. Well, it came time to run laps at the end of practice. Now, as a catcher, I did not have to have my mask on, but I had to have my baseball cap on, like this, my chest protection and my shin guards, and I had to run the bases when everyone else ran the whole perimeter of the field. They had to run the warning track. And then, if we ran without pads, which means I had to run with the team, if one or two of us would straggle behind and the other would pull away, or one would get too far ahead, we would have to do that lap over again, because we do everything together. And I remember so many times doing laps together. Doing extra laps because we weren't all together. Oh my word, that was awful. And after every game, we dropped our gloves. We had to wear our ball caps. We'd all run out to the outfield and we'd gather in a circle in the outfield. And we weren't allowed to sit. We could kneel. And he would give us praise, chew us out, give us praise. And then we would have to do laps. And depending on how good he felt we did as a team, we could do less laps or more laps. So if we played awful, or he felt we didn't give 100% effort, or if somebody walked out to their position, that added a lap. And I remember it was so funny because a couple parents asked us after a couple games in why they would constantly hear one of us yelling, "Stick together, we do everything together, we do everything together." And the reason being was because if one of us fell behind or got too far forward, we had to do that lap over again. And that's what we explained to them. And our parents thought that was the greatest thing ever. We thought it was horrible because, we had this couple that just didn't put effort into it. And, it was hard to sometimes keep them with the pack. And he would sometimes pitch challenges to us. We could pick any player on the team. If they could run the bases under a certain time, touching each bag, and there was a coach on each bag to make sure it got touched, we wouldn't have to do laps at practice. Of course, we'd always pick the fastest kid, and that was my cousin Billy. And Billy never failed us. Never failed us. So then it got to the point where it was other challenges. To where if we could go a round of infield practice without anybody dropping the ball, we wouldn't have to do laps. Or if he could hit balls to the outfield and every outfielder hit their cutoff man without having to bend over or really stretch for it, we didn't have to do laps. And then, of course, there was a challenge or two for me, too, that I had to be able to throw it up to get a runner out without throwing it away. And I fouled her up a couple times, and I took it for the team. So, but the team always picked me back up. We always pick, if somebody failed, we always picked them up. That's all right, man. We'll do that lap. We'll do that lap. Because it created something, and it grew. And then at the end of the year, he explained to us a little more in detail why he did that. And he said, now, can anybody here not tell me that, to tell me that they are not a better ball player or they're not a more of a team player than they were in the beginning of the season? And everyone said no. Everyone said we were better for it. And Mr. Lewis said that he did his job. And he thanked everybody, and he did not just, every coach shake your hand at the award ceremony, and he hugged each and every one of us. And I will tell you that that meant more to me than any trophy or ribbon we would have gotten. Absolutely. Absolutely. Would have meant way more, because he was such a hardcore, strict coach. And it prepared me for high school ball. Teeners, we had a coach, and I'll have to do a video on him, because that's another 10 or 11 minute video at least. So, but I just wanted to share that little bit with you about my little bit of a childhood memory. So I hope everybody has a great 4th of July, safe 4th of July. Enjoy those burgers and dogs, but also remember all of those that gave all. And today also marks the start or the end of the Vietnam War. So let's take a moment and remember those guys, because they didn't have such a nice homecoming as the soldiers do today. So let's take a moment and just remember them. So, well, that's it for me today on this beautiful Pennsylvania evening. The sky is gorgeous. It is beautiful out here. It's about 73 degrees maybe, and it is just gorgeous. Light breeze. Oh, fantastic. I can't wait to watch the sun go completely down. So, until we can get together and pack a pipe or smoke that great cigar, let all that you do be done in love. Y'all take care and God bless.